At this point, any sensible person has to ask, is Donald Trump tanking the economy on purpose? Because every move he's making seems obviously as if it's going to create chaos, crash markets, and open the door for billionaires to swoop in and buy everything at a discount and justify privatizing stuff. So there is a reason Trump might be doing this on purpose. Now, I'm not married to this idea. It's conceivable that through a combination of not understanding what he's doing and wanting to appear tough, Trump is kind of blindly going into this seemingly obvious economy crashing set of policies. But there's another possibility here, which is we see the Dow dropped 1,300 points in 2 days after Trump launched this reckless trade war, the tariffs on Mexico, Canada, China. We see stock prices tumbling, companies warning of higher costs, Wall Street panicking. Just got a report minutes before I came into the studio today about hiring slowing down. But the thing is, it may not be incompetence. This could be a deliberate opportunity for the ultra wealthy, because when the stock market tanks and many people start panicking and selling their investments, I advise against it, okay? It's actually an opportunity to just hold steady, keep buying at lower costs. The billionaires know it. They see the fire sale, they sit on cash, they wait for stocks and land and businesses, even public assets, to crash in value, and then they come in and they buy them really inexpensively. And the worse that Donald Trump makes the economy, the bigger the opportunity for his rich friends and the oligarchical robber barons. We have seen this before. Think back to 2008. Wall Street wrecked the economy. Millions of people lost homes, but who benefited? You had the private equity firms, the hedge funds buying up foreclosed properties, turning them into rental empires, jacking up rents. We've covered it before. And the same thing potentially could be playing out right now. Because if the stock market keeps falling, working class Americans lose their 401ks, the billionaires get to buy blue chip stocks at a discount and buy up foreclosed properties at a fraction of their market value. And it's not only about that, it's also about the big P word. Which one am I talking about? Privatization. The right-wing playbook has always been create a crisis, convince people that the system is failing, and then swoop in to offer a privatized alternative that benefits corporations. Look at Social Security. For years, Republicans have lied about Social Security being on the verge of collapse. What it really would be is if we change nothing in a bunch of years, it would only be able to afford to pay 80% of benefits, something which we can fix with just some small tweaks. Why do they want to manufacture a crisis around Social Security? Because then they can justify gutting it and handing your retirement over to Wall Street. Take the post office. Trump and his cronies who sabotaged the USPS during Trump's first term, slowed down mail delivery, said, look at how dysfunctional this whole thing is. And then they go, well, you know what? This might be better provided by private companies like UPS, FedEx, and DHL. Let's privatize mail. It's the same old trick over and over again. And now Trump is doing it with the entire economy. He stokes the chaos with the tariffs. He spooks investors. He causes a downturn. And then he and his billionaire allies can claim, look, the economy's struggling. Let's deregulate everything. Let's privatize public assets. Let's let the free market handle it. And by the way, I'd be interested, they go. It is not a coincidence that Trump's biggest donors are the same billionaires who thrive when you've got an economic downturn. It's Blackstone, BlackRock, Goldman Sachs, real estate tycoons, private equity firms waiting for assets to become dirt cheap in a deregulatory environment so they can buy them, consolidate wealth, and then sell them back, in some cases, to the very people who lost them. So the question we are left to ask, I don't know the answer. Maybe it's a why not both. Is Trump wildly incompetent and irrational, or is he deliberately creating the conditions for another billionaire feeding frenzy? Because every time Trump breaks something, his rich friends happen to be right there ready to cash in on the backs of people who really don't have the money to lose. This applies to a lot of different things, including Trump's crypto scam. So maybe it's both. Maybe Trump is wildly incompetent, but also wildly selfish. Either way, this has billionaire robber barons written all over it. Let me know which you think it is. If you want to change your IP address when watching or downloading large video files, you need a VPN. Most VPNs come with a lot of buffering and waiting when you're dealing with video, but our sponsor, Private Internet Access, will not subject you to that. PIA is the only VPN fully optimized for lightning-fast streaming and downloading 4K content without the buffering. Changing your IP address with a VPN lets you do things like watch the UK version of Netflix or the Australian version of Hulu, so you can watch lots of great content not normally available in your country. For instance, PIA lets me see a bunch of great Argentinian soccer I can't normally get in the US. They have servers in 91 countries, and with just a single account, you can use PIA on unlimited devices: computer, tablet, phone, TV, game console. If you sign up for PIA today and you don't love it, you can get a full refund anytime in the first 30 days. So try Private Internet Access risk-free and get 83% off, which comes out to just $203 a month, plus 4 extra months for free. Go to piavpn.com/Pacman. The link is down below.